That's what you want me to do.
Nah, you don't have to do that. So look, we're gonna get stuck in today. What people don't realise is that we did it together.
No, he did it by himself, actually.
What we're discussing now is like what age we want our daughters to date at. We want them to do that. Banish them. You know, you have to get to know us and you have to know us.
You know, Uche's going to lock them up in a cage and then, you know, until they're 21 and they can't come out. But we're going to wrap them up and, you know, they can't do... The fact of the matter is they're going to do what they want.
What has been interesting, the world is ending at the age of 21.
Are you serious to me right now?
You know, oh my gosh, they're gonna fail because they haven't had...
If they don't date by 21, then basically they've not learned anything.
What's up, guys? It's the Manago family. Hey, I'm Uche Manago family dad.
I'm Charmaine Manago family mom.
Manago family beautiful mom.
Ding, 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 ding. That's my new one now.
That's a new sound
Instead of
now.
Manago family beautiful mom, it's watch our previous videos, you know what we're talking about.
I don't even know, but it's all good. It's all good.
You do know.
I don't know the ding, 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 ding.
No, watch our previous videos as in what I do when you usually say that.
Ah, okay, fine,
That's what I
fine,
mean,
fine.
yeah.
If you're new to our channel, welcome, by the way. Welcome to our channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you join the family. Why wouldn't you want to join the family like this? Hit the notification bell so you know when we post, and give this vlog a big like because you know the likes keep our channel alive. And don't forget to comment down below. Comment down below, show some love, let us know your thoughts. Interact with us, guys, we appreciate you. MF Squad, to our family that are with us all the time. We love you guys, we appreciate you guys. What's up? I try to say like, what's up? You're not gonna say hello to them either?
I did say hello to them.
No, you didn't say hello to
earlier.
our family. Say hello to our family.
That's what you want me to do.
Nah, you don't have to do that. But you can just say what's up. So look, we're gonna get stuck in today, okay? This little statement that I put out there has caused, or we put out there, because what people don't realise is that we did it together.
No, he did it by himself, actually.
What?
I'm joking.
So what people don't realise is that we share these views, or some people don't realise that. So look, what we're discussing now is like what age we want our daughters to date at. If you haven't seen the short, there's loads of comments on the short, some in favour of us, some against us. Now, there's been some silly ones which, you know, generally have been removed because just if you can't speak properly, then you're not going to stay there. It's just quite simple. Don't mind you disagreeing with us, but like, you know, there's a way to disagree. You just got to be respectful and polite, isn't it? We appreciate that we're out there in social media, and obviously people have a right to comment, or they're going to comment, but there's a way that you speak, isn't it? So, yeah. But we've left some opposing views on there, so you can see some people who don't necessarily agree with us, and some that do agree with us.
I'm interested to see what happens with this, because some of the people that watch our long vlogs don't watch our shorts. Yeah. So obviously some of them don't know what you're talking about until now you go and get them to go watch it, right?
So you got to go see the short.
Speak about this, and then I wonder how you guys are going to react to this too.
Yeah. So basically, I put out there that look, what I said is my daughters will not date until they're 21. I want them to concentrate on building themselves first before they build with another person. And I also said at the age of 16, I didn't know how to look after a girl's heart at the age of 16, and it took me a long time to learn, essentially. So that was the statement. First and foremost, it is a short, guys. It's a short video. It's a reel. It's a short or whatever. So of course, the way it has to be done is in a certain way for a short, right? Just to get this completely clear to start with, obviously, when your daughters become of a certain age, you can't dictate what they do. You can't force them to do things. So that's the first thing. Let's just get this out there. We're fully aware of that. You can't. However, my relationship with my daughters and my wife's relationship with her daughters is gonna be forever, by God's grace, for as long as I'm kept healthy and my wife's kept healthy. Even when they are adults, I'm still gonna have a close relationship with them, and I'm still gonna tell them and give them my guidance on what I feel that they should do. As they get older and they become more older, whether they take that advice on or they listen to that, you know, it's really their choice, isn't it? But that doesn't stop me from being strong, you know, as a parent, and consistently being there for them, basically telling them what I think. Also, obviously, if they don't do what I think, it doesn't mean they're banished. You know, no, we've got these comments where people have just assumed, oh, because if they don't do what you say they're gonna do, you want them to do that, you're gonna banish them. No, we didn't say that. You know, you have to get to know us, and you have to know us before kind of making those assumptions, right? So we've got that out of the way, right? There's no banishing, there's no forcing. So we've got that all clarified, right?
The fact of the matter is, it's guidance. This is the thing I think people got confused. They thought it was like, oh, you know, Uche's gonna lock them up in a cage and then, you know, until they're 21 and they can't come out. At the end of the day, as parents, you have children and you guide them, right? You guide them with the actual rules in the world, which is, okay, don't do this when you're 16, don't smoke or don't drink or whatever. But then there's also guidance that comes from wisdom, right? So you guide your children through a way where you think this is gonna be right for you, this is not gonna be right for you. We could get some things wrong, but it's all guidance. So that's the fact of what we're trying to actually say. And it's funny because if you go to the comments, you see some actual teenage girls there actually saying, I don't even want to go near boys until I'm 21.
Exactly.
I don't even want to. So it is really it's just guidance. It isn't, oh my God, we're going to wrap them up and they can't do. Of course, when they're of the age, when they're allowed to do what they want, fact of the matter is they're going to do what they want, isn't it? And that's it.
And look, there is a lot of points. We're going to try and cover like a lot of them as much as we can just to address a lot of them. But it really did encourage a lot of conversation and a lot of different views. And thank you everyone for putting your views out there and your perspectives out there. It has literally come from different ages. We didn't know that it would resonate with so many different people, young people as well as parents and so forth. So thanks and shout out to you for like putting your opinions and sharing your perspective and so forth. And some of the stories have been really beautiful of people who have met before 21, and that's amazing too. So yeah. So firstly, I guess what we've said is 21 was just an age that we put out there, but really, I guess between 18 and 21, people are really starting to mature and I guess get an idea of what they want to do in life. Some people, even beyond that age, don't know what they want to do in life. So the whole idea from us, from our perspective, was we want our daughters to be able to focus on themselves properly with no distractions, to be the best they can possibly be and establish themselves in terms of knowing who they are, what their capabilities are, what their strengths and weaknesses are, what they want to do with their lives, and get a good understanding. Yes, we know learning is continuous, and I'm not saying they have to have everything figured out by 18 or 21. It's a good age. You finish school, you finish university. I know for you guys that watch us in America, they call it college, right? College, university is college, right? Normally you finish college at 21. So 18 to 21 is when you've done like the majority of good studying. So you're becoming an adult, isn't it? Really. We just want them to be able to get to that stage with no distractions. I don't want my daughter to look back and think, I broke up with my boyfriend the day before my exam, so I couldn't concentrate on my exam, right? It's just madness, right? We just don't want them to ever go through anything like that. That was the kind of idea behind the whole thing. And that's why we said it, essentially, and that's our viewpoint. That's what we think is the ideal way to go with regards to things. And we could talk about this in so much detail, we go to certain areas, but that's the basic idea of it. What has been interesting is hearing some comments like, the world is ending at the age of 21.
Are you serious to me right now?
Oh my gosh, they're gonna fail because they haven't had...
If they're date by 21, then basically they've not learned anything. And I'm like, but in what rule book does it say they have to date by 21? What rule book says you have to date by 30? It's really your choice, isn't it? Like mentally. But I think when people say, oh my gosh, between these ages, if they don't date, then it's like
the world's gonna fall down.
Gosh. It's like when people say, oh my God, they didn't go to university, so the world's gonna fall down, or like just things like this. And it's just like, I don't really understand that way of thinking. Obviously, I respect the way people think, but that way of thinking to me and actually imposing on us is unbelievable.
And when she says impose it on us, she means in the comments. Delivery of some of the people.
No, in delivery, it's like, oh my gosh,
the world's over.
Good luck. It's the end of the world. Oh my God, everything's gonna fail. And you know what? To be fair, some people have had some very bad, probably upbringings. So a lot of them, I can see pain in their messages, which is fine.
And at this point,
I've seen that.
At this point, just to be clear, right? I came from a broken home, right? My wife came from a broken home, and also we've seen a lot in our own experiences. And we met actually when I was 21 and you were 19, if that makes sense. So kind of around the ages that we said.
I was almost 20.
And I still had a lot of maturing and growing up too. I grew up without a father, so I had to learn a lot on my own, and we still had a lot of maturing and getting to know ourselves and knowing ourselves to do before we could actually build together. The fact
of the matter is we both have dated before that age.
Yes.
So the issue that you have is me personally, especially as a woman, I've no disrespect to men and boys, but they do mature, a lot of them. There's a high percentage of them that mature. I think women just mature naturally faster than men anyway. And I just feel like for me personally, it wasn't the right time. When I was dating at 16, 17, it just was an absolute joke. Actually, it was distracting for me. It was a waste of my time, and I got nothing from it. I didn't actually learn from it. It actually drove me a bit crazy, if I'm honest with you. I didn't learn anything from it. So that's where I'm actually talking from experience. I didn't learn anything from it. Actually, instead of meeting boys and meeting my boyfriend, I could have gone and done something else with my time. I could have been going to do sport or going to do something actually a bit, just challenging myself in a different area. But I got tangled in that area of life, which didn't actually benefit me. That's why I can personally say, as a girl, a young girl growing up, I wouldn't advise to my daughters to be wasting their time with that. Friends, of course, boyfriends, as in friends, you know, have friends, friendships, develop friendships, speak to boys, speak to girls, have friendships. But actual relationship where that pressure, it's actually pressure as well. I found myself getting upset at 16, like, why? What for? Like, why am I crying at this age over a boy? Like, what for? I'm not even mature enough to understand what that feels like. You're not even built, you know, mentally to actually deal with that mentally. So for me personally, if my daughters have one at 16, well, then, you know, that's...
It's unlikely that they'll have one at 16 because, you know, where they can make their own choices is from 18, right?
Exactly.
Is where they can make their own choices more so, right? I mean, look, if someone really goes against you, but where you have the more freedom to have one is 18. You're going to go out on your own more. You're going to do whatever the case is. So of course you're not gonna follow them around with the camera, but you know, ideally, you were gonna say if they did have it, you're still gonna love them, right?
Yeah, of course I'm still gonna love them. And just to be clear, the reason why this actually happened to me is because I did come from a broken home. You know, and actually I was doing things that probably I wouldn't have done if my house was actually a bit better. And that's nothing to do with my parenting. I've just come from a home where unfortunately this is what actually happened. And nothing to do with my mum, nothing to do with the way she raised me. She's come from a difficult background as well. So actually it's a cycle. So it's one of those things where, you know, even my mum has looked at me and said, you know what, actually she would have done things differently. You always look at your children and you want better for them, right? Consistently. You don't want them to have the same problems and the same pain that you went through. Now we're gonna see what it's like with two parents together raising children in a home,
wholesome family,
and a wholesome family, and actually seeing how that works, because we actually have conversations with our daughters. We don't cane them, we don't put them in a corner, we just advise them.
I mean, I'm laughing, sorry, I shouldn't laugh because some of the comments suggest, like, if you watch our content, you will know the relationship that we have with our kids, right?
Yeah.
And you'll know that that's just not us. Just a few points. I had girlfriends before the age of 21 and I didn't know what I was doing. Had no idea what I was doing. Then I was actually used to be like an R&B singer or a love singer, whatever you want to call it. And I had no clue what I was doing. It was just a waste of my time. I
broke multiple girls' hearts, right?
It was a waste of my time.
No, for facts, this is what happened because you're 16, right?
I mean, I was excited.
You don't know what's going on.
You see, when I was 16, I fancied a new girl every 3 months.
Well,
that's basically what it was, isn't it?
And so for those of you saying that they're going to fall off the face of the earth if they don't date at 16, how about that? What does that actually do?
Do you know, like, I didn't know, isn't it? There's all this energy going on. I didn't have a decent male role model to kind of let me know what's going on and explain things to me, and so it was just a waste of my time, to be honest with you.
Do you think you learned from it at all?
Nothing.
This is my thing. Like, they said that it's actually a learning lesson, but I personally didn't learn from it. It
was just a waste of time. I could have been more. I could have achieved more. It's not. Look, I achieved well, and I've always worked hard and so forth. But I could have just done a lot more, if that makes sense. And I would have known myself better. So when I did meet you, I was in a better position to understand where I come from. In fact, you know what just happens is when I met you, you just come with loads of baggage. That's basically what it is.
Happened.
Now, just a point I want to touch on, by the way. Some of the comment that people have mentioned is like, oh, you're trying to stop them from getting their heart broken. No, that's not the idea. You can't stop someone.
Their heart broken at 16. Why get it broken at 21?
Good point.
You know, you can't stop what's going to happen from happening, right?
Yeah.
If someone's going to get their heart broken, they're going to get their heart broken. It's not like mandatory that everybody meets a bad man or everybody meets a bad woman. Some people actually just meet people who are emotionally mature, ready for relationships and know how to have them, and they get on well for the rest of their life. I'm not saying that happens with everyone, but it's not like mandatory that you're going to meet that. And I think if you've got more of an awareness of yourself, you've got more of an understanding of what a quality relationship is and what qualities to look for in a relationship, you're more likely to get that. And I feel like the more mature you are, you can get that. The main thing is, look, we want them to concentrate on building quality relationships, right? So we're not talking about, you know, some of you have had relationships before 21 and 18, and well done to you guys. If you've been able to create a quality relationship from that age, it's amazing. And it is all relative to the individual and what background you come from and so forth. But, you know, ultimately what we want them to do is build quality relationships, essentially. Basically that. But we could go on for this forever, couldn't we?
Yeah, I mean, you could. I think the key thing for me when I look at them, my daughters, is actually I want them to not think or not have to mentally. I think that there's also this thing of, okay, look, independent women, blah blah blah. Because someone else put a comment in there that I saw, saying this is not what we're doing. Yes, I want them to rely. I want them to be able to just grow up and not think about relying on anyone, but just actually focusing on their success. That's the actual main thing of this. So when they're focusing on that, then they can just meet someone, and it's just, you're not thinking about all of these things.
And they add to them.
Yeah,
The
and
person
you add
adds
to each
them.
other.
You know how you add to each
Exactly.
other as opposed to
This is
just
it.
being there. There's loads of great relationships out there, but there's loads of terrible ones.
Loads.
And what you want to do is build a good quality relationship that basically adds to it.
And so we, so we just, just to say, we don't agree with having your heart broken early. Just not necessary.
No, it's not. You don't have to.
You just
right?
don't. If you do, you do. But it's
But you
not
don't have to. It's not
necessary.
mandatory,
Like
yeah.
you just. I don't think God has actually built our bodies even ready for that. Personally, I don't think it teaches you anything. I think it just makes you completely miserable because you don't know how to deal with it. Your emotions. When I think of myself as 16, I'm thinking my emotions and hormones are all over the place. I don't even know how to manage certain
That stage, yeah.
feelings.
And I'm still going to be there. Like if they
Yeah.
get their heart broken at 21,
Then we'll still be
22,
there.
if they get their heart broken at 30, if they get their heart broken for so long as by
we're
God's
living.
grace,
Yeah.
they can come back to my house anytime they like. What I'm saying is we're always going to be here. So this idea of they turn 21 and it's done for them, I don't really subscribe to that. I see they're always going to be my kids. I'm going to love them always unconditionally. They're always going to be my kids. We're going to be there for as long as God gives us health.
Sorry, one thing I did say is that actually there was one comment where someone said, and I understand why they said it, which is if you act like this, then they sneak around. And the point I wanted to make is actually we don't have a home like that because actually our kids are very transparent and we don't inflict fear on them, by the way, in regards to our advice. Whereas I do know that some people do come from homes like that, and I am sorry that you have come from a home where you felt like your parents
If you have come from
if
it.
you have,
Yeah.
I mean, someone has said they did, where their parents inflicted fear on them, and then actually when they left, they were doing, all sorts of crazy stuff. Which I grew up with people like that. I've seen that, and I understand that, and I empathise with it. But that is just not our home, and I just wanted to make that very clear. That's just not who we are. We don't inflict fear with advice. We give advice with love. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So,
And I'm laughing and I'm smiling because it's so far away from
Who we are.
When I think of my daughters, scared is one thing they definitely aren't. Basically, like I think like if I get annoyed and I put my foot down and say stop, they're going to be respectful, right? But there's a difference between respectful and fear. I think they respect us because they love and appreciate us, as opposed to they're scared of us. We think that's the right way to go, and that's the right way to parent.
That's our approach
right?
of parenting, yeah.
But anyway, thank you for chilling with us. Comment down below. We know there's going to be lots of comments and views.
We're waiting for you.
We're waiting for you. Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. We hope this vlog clears a few things. If we're going to continue this conversation, we might do. We'll see where it goes. But we hope you've enjoyed chilling with us. Don't forget to give this vlog a big like if you haven't already. And if you're new to the channel and you want to stick around with the family, subscribe to join the family. Yeah, I believe that's it. Share our comment like you just don't care.
You should share our comment.
Share our content like you just don't care. Put your hands in the air and peace out.